Somewhere in the hill country east of Taos, New Mexico, there's a dirt road that most maps don't bother showing. Follow it far enough, past the juniper scrub and the red rock outcroppings, and you'll find a home that looks like it grew straight out of the earth. Because in many ways, it did. The person who built it has lived here for 20 years without a utility bill, without a landlord, without a grid to plug into. What she's learned in that time isn't what you'd expect. Her name is Renata Voss. She's 51 now, a former environmental engineer from Albuquerque who once spent her days calculating runoff drainage for commercial developments. She drove a reliable sedan. She had a retirement account. She owned sensible furniture. Then, in the spring of 2004, her mother died. It wasn't sudden. It was the slow kind. 6 months of watching someone she loved disappear inside a hospital system, inside a schedule, inside a life that had been reduced to appointments and obligations. Renata flew home every other weekend, and every time she landed back in Albuquerque, she'd sit in the airport parking lot, engine idling, unable to remember why she was going back. By the following autumn, she had sold nearly everything she owned. She bought 11 acres outside Taos for $38,000. And she started building. The house she lives in now is 640 square feet of rammed earth and reclaimed timber. It took her 14 months to build, most of it by hand, most of it alone, with occasional help from neighbors she didn't yet know. Total cost? $41,320. Lumber ran $4,800. The reclaimed vigas, those thick wooden ceiling beams she salvaged from a demolished schoolhouse in Espanola, cost her $640 and 2 full weekends of loading. Windows were $880. The earthen plaster she mixed herself from clay, sand, and straw. The rest went into roofing, hardware, and the solar system that has powered her life ever since. Walking inside feels like stepping into something that has always been there. Walls are thick, 18 inches of packed earth that keeps the interior cool in July and holds heat through January nights. There's a single main room that flows between kitchen, sitting area, and workspace without walls interrupting anything. A sleeping loft sits above, accessible by a short wooden ladder worn smooth from years of use. There isn't a wasted space, but it never feels small. Year 3 nearly ended it. The rainwater catchment system she'd designed herself. She was an engineer, after all. She trusted herself. Had a critical flaw she hadn't caught. The first tank fitting she'd used wasn't rated for outdoor temperature swings. On a February night that dropped to 11 degrees, the fitting cracked. She lost 800 gallons before she noticed. That winter, she was hauling water in 5-gallon jugs from a friend's property 12 miles away. Twice a week for 3 months. She redesigned the entire system that spring. 2 tanks now, 2,500 gallons total. Food-grade polyethylene, brass fittings, buried below the frost line. She hasn't lost a drop since 2008. The other thing nobody told her, loneliness hits differently in year 4 than it does in year 1. Year 1, you're too busy. Year 4, the quiet finds you. She drove into Taos one Tuesday morning with no real reason and sat in a coffee shop for 4 hours just to hear other people's conversations. She's not ashamed of that. She tells anyone who asks. The silence is real, and learning to be okay inside it is the actual work. The systems that run her life now are quiet and steady. 6 400-watt solar panels on a south-facing roof mount feed a 20 kilowatt-hour battery bank. Enough for lighting, a laptop, a small chest freezer, and a well pump. A wood-burning masonry stove she built in year 2 handles all her heat and most of her cooking from November through March. The kitchen runs on a small propane stove she refills twice a year, about $180 annually. Total monthly living costs, including food, fuel, and supplies, roughly $510. She grows about a third of her own food now. Not all of it, she's honest about that. 20 years changes what you think you need. It shrinks the list considerably. What Renata has found, and this took time, real time, is that the life she was living before wasn't wrong, exactly. It just wasn't hers. The off-grid part was never the point. The point was to stop borrowing someone else's version of a life and start building her own. The house settles at night. The stars out here are unreasonable in their abundance. And she says the dirt road that most maps don't bother showing, she's glad they don't. There are more stories like this one. People who found a different way and never looked back. Each one a little different. Each one more surprising than the last.